Hey guys, I'm Amy and you've landed on Belle Loves Bargains. That's my cow Effingham, and sometimes he co-hosts with me. He's got a lot to say. This channel is Dollar Tree and only Dollar Tree. And why? Because everything at the Dollar Tree is $1.25, people. So stick around, consider subscribing, and don't forget to give me that big thumbs up. And if you want to know more about the 4 uploads I do every week, just check out the description box for more information. Enjoy! I fall to pieces, bum, 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 each time I see you again. Dun, dun, dun. I fall to pieces. How can I just be your friend? You want me to act like we've never kissed. You want me to forget, pretend we never met. And I've tried, but I haven't yet. You walk by and I fall to pieces. Okay, it's too early for singing like that. Hi guys, welcome to Belle's Bargains. My name is Amy, and today you have landed on the 5 for under 5 challenge. And the theme is, guess what? I fall. Oops, I'm breaking them. Ah! Okay, so I did the 5 for under 5, but I gotta tell you the God's honest truth. It is 7:51. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I should be at work right now. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hi, Effingham. Good morning, besties. Say hello to Effingham. Effingham, say hello to the besties. Alrighty. I got up at 5:30 this morning. All these crafts have been done in the last 2.5 hours. Like, because I had boho done, but it was a fall theme. And anyway, I sent a message like, can I do my boho? I didn't. Anyway, I was like, forget it. I'll just get up and do some falls really quick. So these aren't fantabulous, but I'd really call them upscales, but that's okay. We're going to get into them. So first of all, let's talk about the 5 for under 5, which is hosted by Missy from the Crafty Cove DIY, and also Emily from Farm to Chic. And then the co-host, boy, that's awful, isn't it? The co-host this month is Robin from Robin's Buys and DIYs. Now you guys know, can't get it, right? My cats are fighting in the background. Okay, you guys know I'm going to have that listed down below, all 3 of their channels, and also the playlist for the 5 for under 5. I love this challenge. I've just had a really rough week with a family friend, and so I didn't craft really this week, and so, but I like this challenge. I was like, I'm just going to challenge myself to get up and do it in 2.5 hours. So here we are. I'm going to start with the easiest. Wait, I'm missing something. Can't believe I did that. Easiest one. And the theme, I kind of have a theme for today. It was pumpkins. I kind of just went with pumpkins. So I literally at 5:30 opened up my fall box. I have one big tote. There's a couple extra things outside the tote, but basically it's one big tote full of fall stuff. And I was like, okay. Well, luckily last year when I put it away, I had sort of grouped things in sort of grocery sacks. Like, I want to remember next year to do this when I go back to fall. So one of them was, I love to make pumpkin towers. And pumpkin towers are where you pile pumpkins on top of each other and make a tower. Hence, pumpkin tower. I know. It's that simple. No. Okay. Effingham, you have a lot to say this morning. All right. So that's what this is. So these pumpkins were out last year, which of course some of the fall stuff is coming out now. I've actually picked up a few things. But I'm just going to tell you guys, they always have a hole in the bottom. So what do? I glue 2 of them together. I use a little cement and hot glue them together. I got glue strings. I know, pull out my blow dryer. I just didn't have time. And then all I did was just take a cute little ribbon and put it on the top. At first, I made a much bigger bow on this one, and I was like, it's just too big. It's just too big. And so I took it all off and put a smaller bow on. But this is that metallic ribbon with the leaves. And because the tops of these were gold, I was like, I think that's like a perfect combo there. All right, so, and notice I didn't do a bow on this one. I just did tails and then did a jute bow. And on this one, I did a bow with the ribbon. Super simple, but it's a super cute little vignette to put somewhere, right? Pile 2 on top of them each other and leave the third one down. So there you go. That was my first one. 3 pieces. So this was a total of $375. You'd buy it on clearance at Hobby Lobby if you saw that. All right. And then the next, I'm just going to go in ease order. So this one, these signs are back out this year. I just saw them. As a matter of fact, I purchased a couple. And so this is so simple because the bones of this are so good. I just took rub-on transfers and transformed it a little bit, because before it was just the plain wood, bead handle, and this saying. So I added some rub-on transfers. You'll see in the video, I messed the first one up. I like pull half of it off on my finger. It's probably still on my finger. Now it's gone. And so I had to add this pumpkin to cover up my, anyway, you'll see. So the one thing you have to know on these is that this is like plastic wood. So I tried to do a rub-on transfer. It didn't stick. So I took sandpaper. Then it stuck. So I just think that's super cute. It was so cute just by embellishing it just a little bit with some rub-on transfers. All right. Next one I did. These were last year, and I did these so fast, you guys. I'm pretty proud of myself. So this is the pumpkins with the initials on them. So R is our initial. Marcus walked out this morning and goes, I love that one. So let me just really quickly, I outlined it in black. Do you see how that really quickly sort of like pops it? I tell you guys that all the time. And then I took the ribbon that was already on it, this black and white, and then I just tied some really vibrant florals on the top of it. I didn't even put a hanger on it because I'm going to use it as a lean-to. I didn't want to put a hanger on it. But obviously there's a hole there for a hanger. And it did have a galvanized sort of ribbon leaf on it, which I took off and I will use on something else. So anyway, yeah, I think this is just super cute and super easy. So your whole cost on this, it was basically one pick and the sign. So $250. This one was one sign and one thing of rub-on transfers. So $250. $250. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to save my favorite one for last. But these two are close. They tie almost. All right. Here we go. Do you remember the wood pumpkins that had an initial on them? This had an initial at one point. I've camouflaged it. So I had one that was missing the center section. It didn't matter. I was going to do this anyway. And so I wanted to make a freestanding, pretty substantial little piece. So I took 3 of them, put them together. I sanded off the lettering on the front of it. And then I took as much as I could. Then I took a marker and went over it. And then I started painting. But I want to talk about the painting. So I used it's the acrylic paints from Dollar Tree. So I used their brown to do the stems. I mixed some brown and orange to go over the front of it to camouflage what was there as a letter. And then I wiped the brown into the 3-dimensional part right here to give it a little more depth when I painted it. And then just took the word harvest. I tried to hot glue it on, doesn't work. Do you know what I ended up using, which worked fabulously, is the double stick, the Crazy Glue double stick tape that they sell there. So I just put a couple pieces of that on and there it is. And to glue my pumpkins together, I used wood glue and hot glue. So this is a really cute, look at that, I even hit it and it doesn't come off. So this is a really cute, easy piece, taking 3 of their things and just changing it up a little bit. Pretty easy. So this was $375. The word, there's 3 in a package. So this is basically $425, we'll say, for this. So there you go. There's that one. But here's my favorite one. I told you I love pumpkin towers. I've got to get to work. I love pumpkin towers. So this is a pumpkin tower. And they sold these there last year. And I was going to do this last year. I never got to it. And I'm super glad I didn't, because I used something that I purchased this year to really take this over the edge. So here's my pumpkin tower. I love this. And I used that funky ribbon stuff that came out about 3 months ago. And I was like, I'm buying it for fall. Sure enough. So instead of putting moss in here or, reindeer moss or Spanish moss or whatever, like I have done in the past, I use that ribbon and it's like perfect. So perfect. No mess, no fuss. and then just piled them on top of each other and topped them off. I love this. I think it's very pretty. I think it's super chic looking. I will probably keep this one. And notice that the pumpkins aren't perfect. You don't want that, first of all, because when you glue them, I used hot glue and I used cement. And when you glue them, because of the holes in the bottom, it'll sort of lean one way. See how that's not exactly in the center? And then you have the little stem on top. So anyway, it's so cute. Do you not love this piece? Because I do. I think it's like, maybe thumbnail? Okay, I gotta go. I feel like I'm channeling, what's her name? The Riveter. Rosie the Riveter. I feel like I'm channeling Rosie the Riveter today. You know what? I was like, I got up super early to do crafts. That means the hair's not getting done. Like, put it up in a bun, throw a headband on from my bestie Eminem, and there you go. All right, so which one did you like best? Again, I want to thank the ladies for hosting this. That's Emily from, hold on. Emily from Farm to Chic, Missy from Crafty Cove, and the guest host is Robin from Robin's Buys and DIYs. Okay, so you guys, don't forget to watch the playlist. Tell me which one of these was your favorite. This is absolutely my favorite. This one was Marcus's favorite, and these were all so easy, you guys. The most difficult one was probably this one, just because of the painting, right? But so easy, and all 5 are under 5. So the cost on this one, $123.75. If you include the ribbon, which I didn't use the whole spool, and the picks, I figured that, okay, maybe another $1.25 worth of stuff. So this one is $5. Alrighty, that's it. Okay, guys, enjoy the rest of the video watching how I made all of these Effinghams. Say goodbye to our favorite besties. I lost your voice. All right, and if you're new to my channel and you're just watching because of this playlist, you should know this channel is Dollar Tree, and only Dollar Tree. And why Effingham? Let's tell them. Because everything at the Dollar Tree is a dollar. And what's wrong with you this morning? You got hacking up something? I'm not sure. Yeah. All right. Got milk? Anyway, and everything, all my uploads, all my supplies are Dollar Tree too, by the way. So my uploads, Totally Easy Tuesday, which is crafting for the non-crafter, Theme Thursday, crafting with the theme, which I did not do one yesterday because I was wanted to do this, and I had a friend emergency this week. So shopping Saturdays is on Saturdays. So holla for your dollar haul, which will be tomorrow. And then my husband and I do Foodie Friday, which is where we do reviews on Dollar Tree foods. All right, but guys, enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you so much for following along. And if you see something you really like, don't forget to give me that big thumbs up, because everybody says that. And consider subscribing, because everybody says that. But really, consider. All right, enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks, guys. Okay, so I'm going to do another pumpkin stack, but slightly different. I'm just going to put 2 on top of each other and this one next to it to make a little vignette. And I don't think I'm going to do anything more. I don't think they need anything more. Maybe a little ribbon. Maybe, I love that green on there. But I was thinking more like something gold. Oh, well, maybe a little bit of this goldish one right here. Ribbon, that might look really cool. This couldn't be simpler. So a little cement, some hot glue, pile the orange one on top of the white one. And then I took this bow. So I already said that I really picked that ribbon because it had the gold trim on it, matching the tops of the gold and the pumpkins. So I put a little jute twine. Okay, so major mess up. I do this ribbon, this bow rather, and it's too big. I mean, I suppose I could have left it. I just felt like it was too big when it was all said and done, after I'd done all the work and tied everything off. And then I go to put the bow on the other pumpkin, and I decide this one's too big. So I fiddle with it, but then I go over here and I put a pumpkin, put a bow on this one. But I just did tails and then added a jute twine bow on top of it just to give it a little bit something different than the first one. So I do that, and then I take that bigger bow, take it all apart, do a smaller bow. It's like, okay, it just didn't look right. And as always, I knot the ends of my jute twine for that extra little dimension. And then I put that little, this is a double jute twine bow though. I doubled my jute twine and then made the bow, so you get like double one. See that there? Okay, on to the next simple one. All right, so I have this little sign and I'm just gonna embellish it. So this one is like super simple and super inexpensive. So I have a bunch of the rub-on transfers that were fall, and I'm going to embellish the frame and add some pumpkins here and some autumn leaves here. So super easy. Okay, so super simple, but look, it makes such a difference. The sign's kind of boring. So then add this stuff on, but I messed this up. I grab it and part of the stupid thing comes off. I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna keep going, and I decided I'd just put another pumpkin over that bad area, which I had to steal from this little pumpkin thing. And it worked, it was totally fine. But finding the plastic to pull up after I've rubbed it off, that was a whole nother challenge. And then I just went around cutting off leaves and putting them on there. Okay, so everybody talks about these Dollar Tree rub-ons. I'm fine with them, but you have to make sure you have a surface that they can go onto. So this woodish frame is plastic, so you definitely have to sand it. So that's what I did. I sanded it, and then the rub-offs went fine. And any little mishaps I just covered up with like another one, and I don't know. I love their rub-ons. For the price, you can't beat it. Just take your time, be a little more careful, and you should be fine. And so anyway, I just went around putting leaves on the frame just to sort of finish it off. And this project is just adorable, so easy. And I love these little framed art pieces. I picked them up last year. This is from my last year's stash, but I've also bought them again this year for lots of reasons. I just love the size of these frames. I love the wood beads that we get in it, and the cute little sayings, which you can take and put onto other projects. Anyway, so there's my cute little autumn sign. I hope you guys like that. Say autumn leaves and pumpkins, please. Came out cute. On to the next one. Have these 3 pumpkins, and this one was missing part of it, but I bought it anyway because I knew I wanted to make a little grouping of like 3 pumpkins. So I am going to sand off the letters, clean this up, take off the bows, and embellish these a little bit to make a cute little stand of pumpkins. All right, so I just was scraping the glue off of where that other piece had been tied onto and removing, of course, all of that burlap type ribbon, straightening it out. Because I'm going to use it, whenever I remove stuff, I usually do put it back on the project. So scraping these, there's this this is like uneven wood, and so you get the top layer off, but you don't get the in-between stuff. So I just used a marker and then went over it with my little orange and brown paint. Made the stems that brown. This is acrylic paints from the Dollar Tree, FYI. And after I did that, then I just went about adding some dimension. So taking that brown and just sort of going over the 3-dimensional parts, I guess is how I would say it, right? So just to give it some depth. It works amazing. And then just went to gluing them all together and putting on my harvest sign. So I used a little wood glue and hot glue, and you notice I off-center them there. I didn't want them even. And I put 3 round. I went around 3 times with the jute twine and then took that ribbon and just made 3 different styles of bows with that ribbon that came off of them originally. So you could do this however you want. I just didn't want them all to look exactly the same. So I had one that was crisscross bows, one that was a shoestring bow. And then I tried to glue on that harvest sign. So in the end I used the super glue tape, which worked amazing. Now, on to our pumpkin. Okay, so I have this from last year. I love these. I think they're just really pretty. And I'm really not going to do much to it except embellish it and really make it look, I don't know, I think a little bit better. So I'm going to take my black marker, outline the back of it and embellish it. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do. This is just too easy. So I take off that sort of galvanized, anyway, and then take my black furniture marker and outline the whole sign just to give it a little pop. And then I took that sprig that I had and cut it apart and took that bow that was already on there, right? So I didn't add any bow. By the way, I'm curling these little wispy grass things that weren't part of that pick. And then I just opened up that ribbon and laid things across it so that I could just tie it on there. And that worked fabulous. But then there was this little punch of glue underneath that. So you'll see me add this one little flower right there because I had to cover up the glue. The glue was awful. Anyway, super simple. Like, how simple is that? But it's super cute. Now for the pumpkin tower. These are 3 like porcelain pumpkins, and I love the colors and some florals. Anyway, I love to make pumpkin towers, so I just take them. They have the hole in the bottom, the stem fits in there, and make a beautiful tower. So I was trying to decide the color combo. Because the orange is so strong, it has to go on the bottom, and maybe I like it like that. Anyway, I'm going to use cement and hot glue to glue them together and then embellish the top. And this one I think is the most beautiful. So I already said I'm using that like wacky ribbon stuff, and you can see I'm just pushing it onto the stem, and then just so I have enough sticking out all the way around it, some cement, some hot glue, and press and hold. Now I did go back right there and stick a little hot glue in a couple places just to make sure it was adhered. And then we repeat that process for the next pumpkin. This is so cool. That ribbon stuff was so perfect for this. It looks so cool. And then I'm just going to embellish the top a little bit. So of course we're going to use that ribbon. So I cut 3 little pieces of it and then went about tying just a couple of sprigs, one on each side. So at first I used the flowers, both one on each side, but in the end the one flower just seemed too big, and the pine cone was definitely too big, so I never put that on there. So I just go to tying that around. That looks cute just like that. And I added another piece of the ribbon to sort of go all the way around it. And this is where I add that other floral, but I ended up taking it off. It was too much. It was just too much. So instead, I went to my stash and I found, see, I can't get the pine cone on there, too big. I went to my stash and I found some of those little dot thingies. I don't even know what you call them. And I just started adding those on. This was the perfect little embellishment. And by the way, you'll see me grab a marker because I always use my markers to fill in the little white spots on these. And voila! That's done. This is my favorite one. I think it's beautiful. Thanks guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my 5 for under 5 fall items. Don't forget, go to the playlist and check out all the other fabulous creators. Bye besties!